TNTMTheShow presents Comicast 337 with your host, Pablo Gunner, and I'm here to talk nerdy to you about this week's comics, which is May 9th. Comic books. Those will be the books that I will be reviewing this week. Lots of DC, some Marvel, and maybe like one or two indies. And that's it. So here at Talk Nerdy to Me, we have our own grade scale, which is buy, skim, pass for comics. And then we have variations. So there's strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim, pass is pass. Then there's also other terms. So there is the back and bag of the week, which is the best book of the week I'll be putting into this as soon as we're done here. And that's that. And then there's the runner-up to the back and bag. And throughout the Comicast, I will be saying this is a contender. And that's so it's a contender for runner-up and or B-bow. And so they'll probably always be strong buys because, of course, that only makes sense. Timer, 1 minute for me. I'll probably be more like 2 minutes to wrap everything up. Like I said, I have the timer. It'll go off. That's the time when I need to wrap it up, give my grade and stuff like that. About halfway through, there is a commercial break. And we'll be talking about Age of Comics. And then we also have spoilers. I mean, I'm reviewing these books, so there's going to be spoilers. At least a minor spoiler. I try not to spoil too much. I try to be more the hype man than the spoiler man. So I would say JD is the spoiler man. No, I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, especially for Infinity War now on our page. So watch out. But yeah, so I don't really have any news, so I'm just gonna get into this and knock it out. Cool. So I'll start with the Immortal Men number 2, which is, that's what it is. It's number 2. So I read the Immortal Men number 2. It's Benjamin, James Tynion the fourth, Friend, and Baron as creative team. But this one picks up. This one is freaking awesome. So there's this kid running. It's in the train, and there's these freakish monsters. You get everybody's backstory this time. Woo! Look at that. That's how you suck people in. Backstories. Fantastic. This should have been the number 1, not that other one. That was a waste of time. That was a waste of money. Don't get it. That's what I would suggest. But this one freaking killed it. The art looks amazing. I mean, the art looked amazing in the other one, but this one you find out who the characters are, and you're like, they're dark past, these immortal men. And so, yeah, there's these creatures, and they're coming to kill this kid who is having these dreams of the immortal men that people are telling him, like, oh, yeah, that's not real, that's not real. But, yeah, it gets real tragic real quick. People disappear. The parents get attacked. So it's just all kinds of craziness and all kinds of awesomeness. It's pretty intense. So I enjoyed this one a lot. I think it's worth checking out now. Looks phenomenal. It's really interesting at this point. I can give this one a strong buy right now. So there you go with that. Okay. Then I have World War Hulk 2. It's Incredible Hulk number 716. Greg Pak is the writer, penciler Marco Lorenzana, inker Juan Blasco, colorist Frank Di Armata, letterer Corey Petit. So everyone, it picks up where it left off, which is you have pretty much the champions, Alpha Flight, his sister, they're all there, and they're all talking to Hulk, and they're like, hey, and they think they're talking to Amadeus, but it's not Amadeus. It's just, they're just luring him in and stuff. You have to think like Hulk's using the smarts of Amadeus right now. And so that's why he's able to kick everybody's butt. And so, but Amadeus is still talking to them using like Morse code. Like he'll use like the twitch in his veins or something, or like he'll blink, you know, like he does different things. And so he gets hit with this freaking gamma thing from space, and it gets freaking crazy. Like it doesn't seem like it messes him up at all. Then Thor faces him, the unworthy Thor faces him, and that's pretty freaking awesome, pretty hardcore, pretty awesome, pretty cool. So yeah, shut that thing up. So yeah, it's pretty epic. I like it a lot. This is where it should have been kind of going since the beginning, and it's taken a really long time to build up to. It's not exactly like him losing control. I mean, it is him losing control, but it's him like completely losing control to Hulk versus like him slowly becoming Hulk or whatever, or slowly. Yeah. So it looks phenomenal. It's really great. It's really interesting. It's superb. I can give this one a strong buy for sure, without a doubt. And here's the digital code: F for Fantastic, C for Cable, M for Maximus, M for Maximus, F for Fantastic, E for Echo 5, J for Jason 1, W for W for Wilson, W for Wilson, U for Ultron. Now back to some DC with some more good stuff. I read Sideways. This one's number 4. It's Kenneth Rocafort as the and Dan DiDio as storytellers, Dan DiDio and Justin Jordan as dialogue, then Daniel Brown as colorist, Carlos Emangual is the color is letterer. So this one, the art is freaking killer. And so it's this new hero. He has his powers. I don't know how he got his powers. I'm sure you have to read the volume, which I'll probably check out. I'll probably grab it and trade. And so it's just like he sees this video of this villain and this other new kid fighting this villain, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go teleport in, and then I'm just gonna snatch him, and I'm gonna throw him in jail, and I'm gonna be the hero, and I'm gonna get all kinds of views and all kinds of likes and stuff. It's gonna be great. And this chick's like, I don't think it's gonna work that way. You need to do research on this dude, find out what his powers are, and come up with a plan, because usually your plan doesn't work, so you shouldn't do that. And both sides, you have a lunch with your mom, and so you're supposed to do that. Then so he goes off to do that, and then you see his mom has this meeting with this lady for, it's actually a job interview. So she didn't tell her son that they weren't actually meeting for lunch. It was actually a job interview. And then this doofus, of course, because he didn't do the research, this villain steals power. So it steals his powers. It's stealing the powers of this other guy too. And so they're getting their butts whooped. And it's really weird. And yeah, I kind of hate this kid. Like, he's interesting and stuff at the same time, because you can tell that he genuinely is a product of this, I guess a product of this generation, you know, of like likes and views. And I know here I am making a YouTube video and stuff, or a live stream, and I'm one to talk, right? But so anyways, yeah, it looks great and it's interesting, so I like it, but I'm just like, I'm not sure about it. So I want to give it a strong buy just because it looks so good and it is interesting, and it does get me sucked in to be like, oh, this guy pisses me off. But I feel like, and I like kind of like him, but not a lot. I feel like you should root for the hero more. Yeah, he is flawed, and so that's also interesting. I'm just gonna give it a buy right now. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a buy. Moving on to Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 304. It is writer Chip Zdarsky, artist Adam Kubert, color artist Jason Keith, letter Travis Lanham. They go back to their timeline, or this timeline, whatever timeline they're in, and everything's messed up. So not Harry Osborn is now the president. not Norman, but Norman got his son into office and stuff, and now he's like running for multiple terms and stuff. And Peter Parker has Parker Industries. Gwen is alive, so that's cool, but there's this resistance going on that Gwen helps, and Peter doesn't want to have anything to do with it because he's afraid that everyone's going to die. And you get some side things going on, or it turns sideways, and you see this resistance, like this old man Peter Parker and stuff. I mean, not Peter Parker, Steve Rogers. Well, not old man, but Steve Rogers. He looks pretty hardcore. But yeah, and so that's it. They're like trying to do something about it. And you see the Venom too. There's a Venom there. They're trying to break into this prison and get Doom out because he's the only like smart person around, apparently still. So yeah, that's that. It's interesting. I don't know. It's one of those things. I like time travel, but I simultaneously hate it because I feel like it's just like cheating, and it's interesting story and stuff. And I like it. I like the way it looks. Oh yeah, okay. It's interesting. So I want to give it a strong buy. Another one I want to give a strong buy to, and it looks great. I'll give it a strong buy. No contender. No contender, though. Here's digital code. F for Familia, Z for Zora, and for Marco 6-3, R for Rigoberto, S for Senorita, E for Iluterio 5, R for Rigoberto 2, D for Diego. Let's get back into some DC with Justice League. No Justice number 1 of 4. It's Scott Snyder, Josh Williamson, James Tynion IV, and Francis Manapul on this. And then Hi-Fi does colors. So the artist is Francis Manapul, but I'm sure he threw in with storytelling too. But so yeah, this is the green. You have the Green Lanterns, and they're like, yeah, this barrier is broken. Something's getting through. There's these crazy huge like Titans things, and Brainiac attacks the Justice League and is like, I just defeated you. And Superman's like, you're not going to defeat anybody. And he's like, nope, here's what's going down. And he's like, they're coming to destroy my world. And so I need your help, but we're also going to need the villains' help. So he captures all these heroes and these villains. He's like, I'm going to throw this crazy equation at them of characters so that it's just a bunch of wild cards, and it's not predictable, and it's not, you can't mess with it. And they're like, this dude's evil. We got to fight him. You know, the villains, yeah, it's just weird. And then you have Amanda Waller, and she's using all the psychics of the world to get into Brainiac's head. So that he gets shut down right when they get to his planet to attack this giant, you know, these Eternals or whatever they are. They're these destroyer of worlds. You know, this that's essentially what they are. And so, yeah, it looks phenomenal. It's interesting, but also kind of like, you know, you're like, this is kind of, I don't know, because you're like, why would these people ever work together? But I think they drove the point home when this happens. Like, you see them and you're like, oh my God, okay, we have to. Because they go like, there's no Earth, there's no universe if you guys don't do this. And so it's like, okay, let's get our crap together. So yeah, I liked it. It looks phenomenal. It's interesting. It's another one. I give it a strong buy, but I'm not going to give it a contender. Sorry. Okay, let's go on to Old Man Logan, number 39. Ed Brisson is the writer. Ibram Robertson is the artist. Carlos Lopez, color artist. Corey Petit, letterer. This one's great. So he comes back to this school, and he's here. He sees like these group of like I want to say it's like the mutants that Spider-Man teamed up with, Spider-Man and the X-Men. Great run. So because it was like the not troublemakers, but you know, just the kids and stuff. anyways, he BS's with them for a little bit. Glob Herman has a date, and you're like, oh, okay. And so he goes out on that date, and then Old Man Logan, his powers aren't healing right. His eye doesn't even work, and it's not even really connected to him, so it's not connected to his powers, and that's why it's not healing at all. And he finds that out from this doctor, and it's really interesting. So Glob Herman, he goes on this date, and it is a real date. She is real, but it is these, like, what is it, like Ravengers or something that have her hostage, and they're like, take us to the school and stuff. They know that the X-Men team is out, so they're gonna destroy the school or whatever. That's the plan. And all the while, like, Logan's like, all right, well, I'm out of here. And they're like, hey, at least wait until he's back from his date and stuff. And he's like, no. So we'll see if he sticks around or not to help him with this situation. You know he is. And yeah, I like that they didn't do the, like, oh, you know, someone was just catfishing Glob Herman. This girl genuinely does like Glob Herman, and it was a genuine date that they were set up for. So that I don't know, it's just one of those things that kind of, like, it gives me hope. And it's cool because even the other kids say, like, yeah, it gives us hope, you know, that us freaks can find somebody too, because there's Shark Girl, there's that rock dude, and then there's the green guy, like Analeus or something. I don't know. And then like Santo, I'm not even sure. But yeah, so this one's a great issue. It looks great. It reads great. I can't wait for the next issue. This is really interesting too. I'm finding about his powers and everything not working. So yeah, strong buy. This one is a contender. I'm going to hold on to this digital code. Let's get into some Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 44. And it is Robert Venditti as the writer, as it has been, Peterson, and then Placencia as colors. So this one is the Dark Stars continuing to kill people. This one in specific, they go to this prison, and it is Tomar 2, and he's finding the killer of his father, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, and the guy's like, no, that's not what happened and stuff, and he's like, he reveals his face, and he's like, oh yeah, I killed your dad, you know, pretty much. And so then he just goes like, I knew you remembered, and then he just freaking like lights him up. And he was actually a prisoner on Earth in not Star City. What's the Flash one? Central City. And so Flash is like, all right, oh hey Hal, we can team up. We're partners on this. And he's like, I already know what's going on. I don't really need this. I'm out of here and stuff. So yeah, he just he dips and he's like, all right, I got to go deal with this thing. And then you see, apparently, what's his name? He has drinks with the guy that he used to fight, and they were partners for a little bit. And yeah, and it's crazy. Oh, this part's really cool. Is that you have they're just getting all these people together. They're essentially going like, we need to create an army to go up against these Dark Stars, because the Green Lanterns, there's not enough of us, and that's what they're doing, is they're recruiting, and it's pretty crazy. And yeah, so it's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. I love the way it looks. This is a book that I want to grab and print every week, even though I get it digitally, because it just looks so good. But I will get it in trade, so will hopefully do it justice for me. I'll have to wait for that, unfortunately, but still, it's going to be worth it, I think. Strong buy contender anyways. Now I'm going to do XMen Blue, number 27. Writer Cullen Bunn, artist Marcus Toe, color artist Rain Beredo, letter Joe Caramagna. So this one actually starts with Magneto and Polaris, and they just had like a dinner date, father-daughter dinner date and stuff. And he's like, hey, let's get some ice cream and stuff. And she's like, no, you're reaching. You really want something pretty hard. What do you want? And he's like, I think you're the only person that can bring Alex out of his mental process right now, because he stayed evil when they did like some story arc that was really stupid. It didn't change Sabretooth as well to being good. It was just dumb. I think it was the Axis thing, and like people that were good went evil, and then people that were evil went good. It was stupid. And some people stayed, but most people changed. And so, anyways, then it gets back to this fight that's going on with Polaris and this dude, and he has these visions that he makes real before they weren't real, and you keep on getting flashes to the all-new X-Men being in space with Venom and stuff. They do fix the ship, so you're slowly getting that stuff. And then Magneto's fighting off this other team, which is pretty epic and pretty cool, and does get help from this Sentinel, but they do beat him up pretty hard. And then he just runs away into time. And so Emma Frost keeps on questioning working with Alex and this Miss Sinister. And then this group of X-Men, they take the fight to them and stuff. And that's what she does. She tries to change Alex, but it doesn't work. No surprise. It's the same thing that I've been saying. I think I might drop this book just because, like, I don't really care about these characters that much. There's a lot of characters that there's obscure characters. You haven't built sympathy for these characters before you just roll into it. And that's the problem, is like, you're going to bring in obscure characters that you like. That's cool, dude. But you have to get me to care about these obscure characters before you're throwing them into these life and death situations, because I don't care about them. If they die, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I don't like Jimmy Hudson. Bloodstorm, okay, she's an alternate version of Storm. I like Storm, but I don't know about Bloodstorm to care. You know, Polaris, I like Polaris, I do. But even the fleshing out of Polaris in this, I'm not invested enough. Same thing, Alex Summers. I like Alex Summers a lot. In fact, I like him. For a long time, I liked him more than Scott Summers. And once again, you're not doing the fleshing out of these characters to go, I want him to be good again. I want you to turn him good. I want to see that, you know. I like Magneto, and that's cool what he's doing. He's always been a great character. We've known him enough, you know, and the path that he's been going and stuff, so that it's been good. So you're just not fleshing out people enough. You have to, because people don't care. I don't care. And that's why this is a book that I'm probably going to drop if it doesn't change. So I'm sorry to say, like, it looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely superb. And I want to keep getting it just because of the art. And, like, there's remnants of goodness, but overall, not enough. I'm going to have to start giving this book serious week buys, because it's not stepping up. You're not stepping up your writing by making me give a crap about this other team of X-Men, about these characters. All these other characters, I could not care less. Like, who is this? Shen Zorn, couldn't care less. Gazing Nightshade, could not care less. Daken, I hate Daken. I just straight up hate Daken. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. So, yeah, like I said, week buy. I'm probably going to drop it if it doesn't improve. I'll skim it next time. Next time, I'm just going to skim the issue and see how much of the all-new X-Men is in there and stuff. And that'll be if I pick it up or not. Okay, here's the digital code. K for Kill, L for Logan, X for X-Men, V for Vegeta, W for Wesker, N for Nova, 0, 9, E for Echo, J for Jack, F for Fantastic, 0. And that's it for the first half, I guess, maybe. And like I said, I'm going to talk about Age of Comics, which is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, located at 37000 Osuna Road, Northeast, Suite 513, 513, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like I said, 87109 is the area code. If you want to call them, their phone number is 505-884-1776. or you can go to their website at ageofcomics.store, and they have a lot of classic comics. In fact, they have a vault in their store. Well, it's kind of like a vault. I think they only open it for special occasions like Free Comic Book Day and such. And they have like this sentinel that's like this sentinel head that's going through the wall with the hand coming out too. Oh, they call it the danger room. That's what they call it. The vault. They call it the danger room. So that's where they have like their most prized possession comics right there, the old schools graded and stuff. And they have some on the wall and stuff you can go in there and buy. They have a pinball machine. You can play it. I think you have to put money in it to play it. I haven't played it, but it's like I think it's a SpiderMan pinball. And yeah, they have all kinds of back issues, old school stuff, new stuff. I pick up like new stuff. I get a lot of graphic novels from them. The more comics you get, the bigger discount you get. So they have different tiers. I think they have like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. So that's how their tier works, I think. So and so and they know their stuff. They know their stuff. They do their research on the stuff, and so they know what they're talking about and what they're doing when it comes to comics. They're hardcore about those comics. They go to cons. They'll get stuff signed. They take pictures with guests and stuff. It's really cool. So, and they're really cool dudes to talk to. I was just talking to them about Cobra Kai the other day. They actually asked me what if I had seen a Cobra Kai, and I was like, no, it looked stupid. It looked cheeseballs when I saw the trailers, and they're like, dude, it's good, but it's only through YouTube Red, but you can get a free month and like just binge it. So, and then if you want, you could cancel it and there's no ads and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, they were the one that told me about that. So they're like, yeah, Cobra Kai is really good. And so it's a series show. But yeah, so Funko Pops, figurines, statues, like I said, graphic novels, all kinds of goodies. So check them out, like them on Facebook, follow them on all their social medias, and especially go to the store or check out their website. Cool. Now I'm going to jump into The Flash, number 46. It is Joshua Williamson as the writer. We have, I want to say, Scott Collins, and then as the artist, and then Guerrero as colors. So yeah, this one, the coloring is very different. I think it's Professor Zoom, Hunter Zolomon, is his name. He's in prison, and then Eobard Thawne, I think, comes to break him out, I want to say, which I thought he was dead. I thought he was killed, but whatever. And then like you see all these different people, they sense a disturbance in the Speed Force and things that are going wrong with Wally West, the other Wally West, and he's just like freaking out and stuff, and he's like, I'm tired of this, and stuff. And so Barry goes to Bruce. Bruce isn't there. He's dealing with his own thing. He even shatters like the back computer, and then he puts it back together because he feels bad and stuff. And yeah, and so essentially it's just like mostly from this guy's point of view, though, where he's like, yeah, we're gonna get revenge on these dudes, and like Wally's just freaking out, and he's like, yeah, let's go for a run and stuff. So the Flash War begins, I guess. Yeah. So I liked it. It was good. It was solid. It's different. It's interesting. It's about the villain instead of the hero. That was cool. Villains. And so, yeah, I would give it I want to give it a strong, I'll give it a strong buy, not a contender. Cool. Now I'm going to get into some Sawas. Darth Vader number 16. It is Charles Soule as the writer, Giuseppe Camuncoli as pencils, Daniele Orlandini as inks, Java Tartaglia and Guru EFX as colors, and Gio Carmena as letterer. So these Jedi, they have gotten found out, and it's interesting because every single person, well, they're not, I don't think they're all Jedi. but they are helping this Jedi, and they've joined with him. I don't even know if they're Force sensitive specifically either. But anyway, so every time he has a talk with each one, or each time someone's about to make a sacrifice, it makes a flashback to when and why they were recruited in the first place, like what they did, what their reasoning for it. And so that was cool, and that was interesting. That brought gravity to their deaths, meaning to their deaths. Even though they're nobodies, they became somebodies real quick, because Darth Vader and his Inquisitorius are attacking them. All the while, like, you're seeing this freaking brilliant plan from this other admiral and stuff of the Mancala. And yeah, it's freaking awesome. And they even get like a flashback of how Anakin helped this one girl, which is crazy. But Darth Vader is going to go get Lee Char while they're dealing with the Jedi. And this Jedi has a trick up his sleeve, but he's going to be facing it as well. So I can't wait to see the next issue for so many reasons. This one was pretty awesome. This one was pretty great. I give this one a strong buy. I give this one a contender. This one was really well done. I like it. I'm impressed, and it's really cool. So, yeah. Strong buy and a contender for sure. I'm going to hold on to this digital code. Next, I have Detective Comics 980, James Tynion IV. We have Scott Eaton as the penciler, Wayne Fauci as the inker, and then John Calise, I want to say, and Pasalacqua on colors. So this one is, you have Bullock and this girl, and he's just eating and like he's complaining and stuff. And yeah, but then we get back to the OMAC thing. So it's not actually Batman. It is Tim Drake taking over, but in the Batman suit by the OMAC thing. Batwoman is facing him off, keeping him distracted, keeping him on the run, while Spoiler and Batman are in the Belfry 2.0 trying to stop this psycho Ulysses kid. And they're like, all right, we can only go so far, though, being shielded. And then the other, like, Azrael and Batwing attack them. They're getting distracted. This guy's like, oh, this is what you could have been. This is your alternate dimension or future or whatever. And it's showing how they're both Batgirls. And they're like, you think that's going to stop us? Like, that motivates us. So, and that's, yeah, that's it. So it was really great. I liked it a lot. It was really cool seeing the other, like, how Spoiler, she was Robin, she was Batgirl, how Cassandra was Batgirl as well. Really cool, really great. So strong buy and contender on that end as well. It looks great. Now on to Runaways number 9. Writer Rainbow Rowell, penciler Chris Anka, inkers Craig Young with Chris Anka, color artist Triona Farrell, and then letterer Joaquim Caramagna. I completely forgot about this dude, but it was so good. So that Doom, you think it was Doom, but it's not actually Doom. It's the Doom bot from Avengers AI that Victor La Mancha was on a team with. And they mentioned that. And so I was like, oh, yeah, that was such a great series. So that was really cool. And so he's a Doombot, but he's good. It's just, giant conundrum. But it's just funny. And he's like, I'm going to rebuild you. Chase is like, I'm going to rebuilding him. And he's like, oh, here's these things. And Doombot's like, oh, you actually found something interesting. And yeah, this girl, she keeps on avoiding her girlfriend. From the Power Pack and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go see a movie, and this girl, she keeps on bugging her. Molly, her friend, is like, yeah, did you take that cupcake to stay young forever? And then what's her name? She got a job. The magic girl, forgetting Nico. Yeah. And so it's really funny though, because like Molly's like, I don't know if I should do this, and she's talking to all these people, and everyone's like, yeah, being young is the best, you know, like I don't know why you would not want to stay young for forever, you know, and it's like it's just making things worse, kind of like. So yeah, and then Victor is a Roomba, and yeah, but yeah, so it's crazy what happens to the girlfriend. Yeah, at the end, oh, it's crazy. So yeah, I kind of want to give like an inkling, but I don't want to give it away. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a strong buy, and it's a contender, and it blows my mind, and it's really crazy, and it's really funny, and it's great. I'm gonna give this one strong buy contender, and I'm gonna hold on to this digital code as well. It's already 3 books. Shoot. Next is Batman White Knight, number 8 of 8. It is Sean Murphy, with Matt Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth does colors, I believe, but Sean Murphy does the writing and the art. So, yeah, and it's just freaking crazy, man. It's the Joker is in the Batmobile with Batman, and he's like, I want Jack Napier back, you know, and they're just taking this fight to the crew. There's Bane, there's Killer Croc, all being controlled by the guy, the Mad Hatter, and this Harley and stuff, and they attack this gun, and they're trying to reverse the effects of this gun, this freeze gun that froze half the city and stuff. Poison Ivy's there. It's pretty Clayface breaks control, which is pretty crazy, and it's so great. Like you have Jack, and he proposes to Harley, and it's really sweet. And yeah, and so, but then like this tunnel, it gets broken into. It gets flooded with the water and stuff. It's just really intense and really crazy, and it's great seeing like new Harley, like movie Harley essentially or whatever, and then like old school Harley beating up on new Harley and stuff, and like it just, oh my gosh, the ending is so great, and it's so perfect, and it's so crazy. I love it. This is a must-have in trade. I feel like getting it in trade myself, just because of how great it is. I don't know why I didn't get the last issue, because I've gotten the rest of the series. I need to. So, but yeah, strong buy and a contender without a doubt. I hope there's a follow-up to this, but I really, really love this. So it looks phenomenal, reads phenomenal. Everything about it is just great and superb. It's, yeah, you have to have it. Strong buy contender. Back to some Marvel and Star Wars. It's Thrawn. Number 4, Jody Houser is the writer. Luke Ross is the artist. Nolan Woodard is the colorist. Clayton Cowles is letters, and Travis Lanham. And so it starts off, and you're like, okay, this story seems like it's pretty inconsequential, because they're talking about some dispute that they're going to fix, and they're like, why are we even bothering with this? It's so little. And it's like, oh, because nobody else can solve it, so we're going to solve it. And so he talks to this committee, and he's like, well, somebody's in on this deal, because they're stealing this ore, this spice and stuff for this. And then he talks to like the tribal leader, the chief, and is like, yeah, you know, this is the area and stuff. And he's like, all right, the crop's always bad here. And he's like, yeah, he's like, okay, that's, you know, they figure that's where they are. He's like kind of training this ensign too and stuff. They set up this plan to ambush the people that are taking this stuff, and they end up just destroying that part. And so the chief's pretty upset about it, but the Empire couldn't care less. In fact, they congratulate him for it. And they're like, yeah, he's moved up really fast. And then his ensign's pretty kind of upset because he hasn't gotten promoted. And he's like, boom, he gets promoted like crazy high. And so they're like, oh, yeah. Now we have this new problem to deal with. And this admiral's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. And he's like, all right, well, if you don't want to take a little time to do a little research, we could do a lot better fixing this problem. You're going to look stupid real quick when this blows up in your face. So that's what he's planning, for this thing to blow up in this admiral's face, so that everyone, because he told it in front of everyone, and they're going to side with, they're going to be like, yeah, Thrawn's right. Like, we should have taken more time. You screwed up. So I'm interested to see it. I like it a lot, but it also does interest me to read the book / the audiobook, listen to the audiobook. So in time, perhaps, I don't know. So yeah, I like it a lot. Looks great, really interesting, solid stuff. So I give it a strong buy, not quite a contender. Here's the digital code: F for Falcon, Z for Zabrak, M for Millennium, D for Dome 083, L for Lame, D for Dome 7, C for Chimera, and C for Chimera. I have Batgirl, Birds of Prey, number 22. Julie Benson, Shauna Benson writing together. And you have Antonio on art, and then Marcelo Maiolo on colors. Roge Antonio as the artist. So anyways, yeah, and so we have, it's at the end of a story arc, so probably not the best time to jump on. You have Huntress, she's been captured by this lady, and she can't interrogate her because they have the hypnos from the Nightwing arc, or not Nightwing, but actually Dick Grayson, or Grayson. It was called Grayson from that arc. And then you see it gets back to the rest of the team. There's Ollie. He's been knocked out. All of them have been knocked out, but they're slowly waking up. And what's her name used her scream to like her full capacity. This lady's kind of helped her. This lady, but a villain. Catwoman's there. Poison Ivy's there. Batgirl's there. And they're like, yeah, you guys go do your thing. They go back to the main Birds of Prey. The mom is being controlled. The Huntress mom's being controlled. They use this machine part to find out their location where Huntress is at and being interrogated. They fight this dude. This thing pissed me off, though. This part pissed me off because this guy shoots at Huntress's mom. Or no, Huntress's mom shoots at this guy, and Batgirl blocks it. And then this dude shoots at Huntress's mom and kills her. And I'm like, how are you not pissed at Batgirl? Because if Huntress's mom, you would have just let her shoot this dude, like, she wouldn't have gotten shot and killed. Like, that just blows my mind, you know? Like, why you're not going to be pissed at her. Instead, she's like, no, I'm with you. Yeah, we're teammates. You know, this whole thing gets resolved, and they find, like, this little vault that's an homage to them. So, yeah. That's it. It's well written. It's good. It was just that one part I didn't like. And so because of that, I'll give it a strong buy, but that one thing just bugs me. I don't know if it was like the art and the writing got like there was a little confusion, because if they would have just made it so that wasn't in there, then that would have worked even better, you know? But yeah, so that's why I give it a strong buy, but not a contender. Next is Exiles number 3. And it is Saladin Ahmed as the writer, Javier Rodriguez as pencil, Alvaro Lopez as inker, Chris O'Halloran as colors, Joe Carreño as letter. And so now they're in another world. I like how they do the intros, but I don't like how they do the intros with the unseen dude. But anyways, they're this world, and it's these dinosaurs that have been altered, and they have like these weird outfits, and they're attacking them. But then that world gets eaten, and they get teleported to another one. It's the Sea Market Octopus Garden. It's like Namor, but like a different version, like hippie Namor. And then you see more from the other series, which is really cool. But then they get teleported away, or that one gets destroyed as well. Then they get into this world where Agent Carter is actually Captain America, and then it has this sidekick, and this sidekick is like hitting on Valkyrie hard, but it's a girl. It's not Bucky Barnes. It's Becky Barnes. And so, yeah, it was a little heavy. It was a little much. I don't know if that's how Bucky was written back in the day. But, yeah, and so they have to stop the Red Skull, and they find a way. It's pretty awesome how they team up. And see, that's what I like. I like this stuff where you can do, like, one-offs in these worlds instead of going like, oh, these worlds, like, they're constantly jumping, you know. Of course, that something bad happens at the end of that. But that was awesome. And I like these side stories more than like, hey, let's just jump around. It's okay, like kind of like a sitcom episode sort of type thing where you're like, hey, different world, different place, different episode, you know. That's cool to me. I like that. That's fun. So strong bind contender. But I will give the digital code away. It was a lot of fun. It looks great. And it was great. F for Familia, C for Carlos, N for Marcos, C for Carlos, 0, K for Kilo, 5, U for Uganda, Z for Zorro, G for Guillermo, 0, E for Iluterio. Once again, I picked up the New Mutants Dead Souls #3 just because I love the characters. This art is killer too. With the writing is Matthew Rosenberg, artist Adam Gorham, color artist Michael Garland, letters Clayton Cowles. And so, yeah, this one starts, you have Prodigy, he's on the plane, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're going to crash the plane because he's on it, I guess. I don't know. And so it's crazy because 40 feet below New York City, they're facing the mindless ones. This crew is, and then they're like, oh, yeah, Prodigy's in trouble. So they just teleport there, but they teleport on the plane. Well, it's a moving plane, so it's hard to teleport in the plane. So they're on the outside of the plane, then they have to get on the inside. It's really crazy. It's really intense. Then all the people start attacking them. There's like some demon that's making all these people attack them. And they're like, yeah, let's try to not destroy the plane while we're on it and stuff. But there's like some magic that's keeping them from getting in the cockpit. And Prodigy's like doing the math on how long it's like, oh, we're going to fall to our deaths in 3 minutes if you don't save us. I love how like she teleports them to safety except for Richter stays with her. That was really cool. She goes like beast mode. It's pretty hardcore. And then there's, once again, like so there's this demon that's controlling the this character, and then they attack these other kids. They attack this Warlock. Is it Warlock? But yeah, it's pretty nuts, the ending. I don't know what happened, but I'm interested to find out what happens next. This series is a series that just keeps better and better and better. I feel like the writing keeps getting better. The characterization of the characters keeps getting better, which was solid in the first place. The art is somehow also getting better. It looks phenomenal. It's really great. It's really interesting. Can't wait to get the next issue. Great issue. Strong by. This one is also contender. But I'll go ahead and give the digital code away. F for Fantastic, Z for Zarbon, M for Millennium, L for Logan, 9, W for Wesker, A for Attack, B for Bravo, I for Icarus, L for Logan, 00. Now I have Domino #2, written by the lovely Gail Simone, art done by David Baldion, colored by Jesus Abertov, lettered by Clayton Cowles. And we have a Domino falling to her death in her underwear, lingerie. Anyways, and she can't sense her powers. This lady sucks powers, and so she gives her powers at the last second. Spidey swings by, but her crew shows up, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna mess you up. We don't care about killing some old lady and his caretaker." And they're about to, but that's when they use the powers and suck their powers, and they're like, "Most of us don't even have powers, so that's not gonna help you." But they teleport out of there, and then Mina, she goes and she has a jog with Amadeus because he's super smart, and she wants to find out how to find these people. She's like, someone in my crew might be dirty or something. I don't know. And then she knows that in Central Park, there's these people that have been attacking. She's like, yeah, I just did this to blow off steam. At the same time, attacks and beat them up. They go on this boat, this gambling boat or whatever, And so they're there to do a job, which turns out to be an inside job as well, with Amadeus and stuff. So that's another one. Those people show up and it looks bad. It looks really bad. It looks really bad. It's crazy because it's like, I don't even know these characters and I care, but I only care because Domino cares. Like, I care so much about her. I've always liked her, but especially more so now. And it's because she cares that I care. So yeah, strong buy contender, without a doubt. I will give this digital code away, even though it's so great. F for Familia, Z for Zoran for Marcos, 2, T for Tomas, D for Diego, L for Lupita, 7, 5, N for Novela, M for Marcos, G for Guillermo. And next, it is the Adamantium Agenda. It's a Hunt for Wolverine. Also, number 1, Tom Taylor is the writer. RB Silva is the penciler. Inkers Adriano Di Benedetto with RB Silva. Color artist Jesus Aburtov. Joe Sabino is letterer. And so we actually have this flashback, and it's to a time when they found this bomb, but someone had to be there to flip the switch and essentially not kill themselves, but kind of like possibly kill themselves. So it was Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, and Wolverine. Wolverine's like, I'll do it, and they're like, you saved us all, and it's like, yeah, if we don't do this, then it's going to blow up the whole island of New York or whatever, and there's going to be all kinds of radiation. So he does it. He does one for the team. Iron Man shows up as well. And then it goes back to Iron Man, and he's getting this group together, which is Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and he's like, yeah, we need to get this team together to find out where Wolverine is. And they go onto a boat as well. But this one's for an auction for like superhero stuff. And it turns out they have the genetic code to somebody. And they all wear masks. And then you find out who the genetic code is for at the end. And you think like, oh, hey, it's for this person. Nope. And you're like, these people are going to go ballistic on this submarine. Yeah, they're going to wreck it. It's freaking, oh my gosh. It's so good. Like, I didn't expect this to be so good. And it's great. It looks great. It reads great. Characterization well done. Looks phenomenal. I dig it. So good. Strong by contender. Here's the digital code, though. 5, B for Bravo. 4, G for George. 7, B for Bravo. C for Charlie. U for Ultron. 1970. And my last book, I have Barrier, number 1 by Brian K. Vaughan, Marcos Martin, and Munsta Vicente. And so this one is, you have to read it like this, sideways and stuff. And so it actually starts in, I think, it starts with like this horse head, I want to say he's Mexican. I don't know if he's actually Mexican, but he looks Hispanic, and he finds this horse head on this like farm or whatever, this ranch, and and he's like, yeah, and stuff, and they're like, oh, I think it was aliens, and it's just a joke, and they're like, oh, illegal aliens. But anyways, then it goes to Guatemala, and there's this guy, and he jumps on board and gives money, and it's really crazy. So it's actually, a lot of it is in Spanish. Like half of the book is in Spanish pretty much. So it's like these two different stories converging. It's this lady that has this ranch, and they're like, yeah, this is the cartel sending you a message that they're going to go through your land, and then you can't do anything about it and stuff and whatever. And they're going to use it to get through. And then there's this dude, and he's getting on here, and he ends up there, and she attacks him because she thinks he's them. And they converge, and then there is an alien attack, invasion. I don't know. But so my Spanish was rough, so I understood I could piece together what the Spanish was because it's not translated. And so it was very interesting. At first, I was like, I don't know if I like this. I don't like this. And so I was like, it's interesting. I like it. There's certain, like I said, I understood a good portion of it. you know, my translation's rough, but I could piece it together to understand what it was saying. And it was good, and I like it. And it looks phenomenal. I got to the end and I was like, this was superb. Like when you start mixing, it really inspired me. That's the thing, is that this book was so good, it inspired me. And so I'm going to roll straight into Strong by Contender. And I'm going to say that this was my back and bag of the week because of that. It's just inspired me to write my own. Like, I've been wanting to write my own comics for a long time. I'll write here and there, but this one inspired me to go like, I'm going to write my own comic. It's going to be like not bilingual, but there's going to be Spanish thrown in there. There's not any Spanish superheroes and stuff. And I feel like there needs to be, or Hispanic superheroes. There needs to be, everybody deserves, should be represented. There needs to be more natives as well. There some, but yeah, so that's it. Just, yeah. And I can't wait to get to the next one. They're coming out every week. This is actually the first, and I think came out last week. So I'm going to keep on getting them and do a review of each one each week. So that's my B-Bow, just because it killed it. Looks phenomenal. And just that language thing, you know, and then of course, Brian K. Vaughan talked at the end, that made it even better. So for my runner up though, there's so many good things, but I think I'm going to have to go with Batman Dark Knight number 8, or White Knight number 8 is my runner up. It was just so good. Great conclusion. Totally killed it. It was perfect. Great mix of Joker and Jack Napier and all these different things, different elements. So yeah, that's it. But I do have a few digital codes to give away. So there is the Runaways, and here's the digital code for that. F for Familia 337, Q for Quasar 564, D for Diego, Y for Yellow, J for Jack, Y for Yellow. And then I have 2 more books, Darth Vader and Old Man Logan, but honestly, I have to get ready for work and leave, so I don't have time for that. But if you want one of those, comics, those digital codes, retweet, share, like this video, this post on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, and I'll hook you up with a digital code. And I have other digital codes, so like Iron Man and stuff. So I have other digital codes to give away. So I will give those away to whoever does that, anybody who does that. But like I said, I think I only have 3 digital codes to give away. So first three to do that, I'll give you those digital codes. So that's it for now. You can find all of our stuff at TNTM the Show, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, all of it. That's it for me here. And keep your ojos hungry for comics.